Top 10 Fascinating Facts About Ford Model T. Discover how the Ford Model T transformed transportation and society. In this video, we explore 10 revolutionary impacts of a car that did much more than just take people from one place to another. Don't miss it. Number 10. Birth of mass production. The Ford Model T marked a before and after in the history of manufacturing with the implementation of the moving assembly line in 1913. Henry Ford and his team of engineers revolutionized production by introducing methods that allowed car parts to move from one worker to another. This assembly line was inspired, in part, by the meat processing systems that Ford observed in Chicago and Cincinnati. These assembly lines not only streamlined production but also minimized the need for highly specialized workers, since each one only needed to master a specific task. The introduction of the moving assembly line had a dramatic impact on the time required to build a vehicle. While previously building a car took more than 12 hours, with the new methodology, this time was reduced to approximately 1.5 hours. This drastic change not only increased efficiency and reduced production costs but also allowed Ford to significantly increase daily production. The assembly line became a model for mass production that would be adopted in countless industries around the world, transforming the manufacturing of products from appliances to clothing. The shift to mass production also had significant social effects. With reduced production times and costs, Ford was able to offer better wages to its workers, including the famous $5 a day salary, which was almost double the average salary at that time. This increase not only improved the standard of living for workers but also created a new market of consumers, as Ford employees could now afford to buy the products they themselves produced. This business model proved so influential that it even helped lay the foundations of the American middle class and stimulated the economy on a broad scale. Number 9. Affordable price. The launch of the Ford Model T in 1908 marked a milestone in automotive history due to its initially accessible price of $825. This price was significantly lower than other cars of the time, which were generally considered luxury items out of reach for the average person. Ford's strategy was to produce a vehicle that was affordable for the general public, a goal achieved through the adoption of mass production. This approach not only facilitated car ownership for many Americans but also planted the seed of the future global automotive industry. As mass production became more efficient with the implementation of the assembly line, Ford was able to further reduce costs. By the 1920s, the price of the Model T had dropped to $260, making it even more accessible. This drastic price reduction was made possible by economies of scale and continuous innovation in production methods. The low cost not only revolutionized the automotive market but also democratized access to personal transportation. The ability to acquire a car transformed the way Americans lived, worked, and moved around. The effect of the affordable price of the Model T extended its influence beyond simply making cars accessible. It contributed to a change in the structure of American society by enabling middle and working-class families to experience personal mobility. This, in turn, drove greater independence and flexibility in job and residence choices. Additionally, the expanded access to automobiles stimulated the development of ancillary industries, such as road construction, gas station services, and car repair, thereby fostering a cycle of sustained economic growth. Number 8. Variety of models. The Ford Model T stood out for its wide range of body variants, offering consumers a diversity of options ranging from coupes and sedans to trucks and convertible versions. This flexibility was unusual for the time, as most automobile manufacturers focused on single or limited models. Ford achieved this variety by using the same mechanical base and engine across all variants, allowing for low production costs while meeting different consumer needs and preferences. The adaptability of the Model T to different uses proved to be one of its most revolutionary features. For example, the Model T chassis was used to create agricultural and commercial versions, facilitating its integration into the rural and urban life of America. Farmers could adapt the vehicle for tasks such as planting and harvesting, while businesses could use the truck versions for transporting goods. This versatility helped cement the reputation of the Model T as a vehicle for everyone, not just as a means of transportation but as an essential tool in multiple facets of daily life. In addition to its practical applications, the variety of Model T models also had a significant impact on automotive culture. Over time, owners began to customize and modify their vehicles, eventually leading to the culture of personalized automobiles that would follow in subsequent decades. The various body styles offered consumers the opportunity to express their personal tastes through their vehicles, a phenomenon that would become increasingly prominent in the automotive industry. This capability for customization and adaptation not only fostered an emotional bond between the owner and the car, but also set the stage for future evolution in automotive design. Number 7. Durability and simplicity. The design of the Ford Model T was an outstanding example of engineering focused on durability and simplicity. With robust construction and a simple mechanical design, the Model T was designed to be as reliable and easy to maintain as possible. This was crucial at a time when roads could be unpredictable and mechanical workshops were not as widespread as today. The simplicity of the vehicle ensured that owners could carry out many of the necessary repairs themselves, a significant advantage in rural areas of America. The Model T used a 4-cylinder engine with 20 horsepower, powerful enough for the time, but designed with a focus on ease of maintenance. The electrical system, although basic compared to modern standards, was sufficient for the vehicle's needs and reduced the complexity and costs of repair. Additionally, Ford opted for standard components across all models, meaning that parts could be replaced or repaired anywhere without difficulty. This standardization not only simplified production but also made life easier for vehicle owners. This focus on durability and simplicity was not just a matter of technical design but also reflected Henry Ford's philosophy of providing a vehicle that was accessible and practical for the average consumer. The Model T was designed to withstand the harsh conditions of early 20th century roads, proving extremely attractive to a predominantly rural America at that time. This design focus on longevity and ease of use helped solidify Ford's reputation as a reliable and customer-focused automobile manufacturer, a legacy that would persist long after the last Model T rolled off the assembly line. Number 6. A cultural icon. The Ford Model T transcended its function as a mere vehicle to become a cultural icon in the United States. As its presence spread across the country, the Model T began to appear in numerous films and literary works of the era, capturing the essence of a transformative period and the nascent automotive culture. This car not only represented the accessibility and independence offered by the automotive era, but also became a symbol of American innovation and entrepreneurial spirit. In addition to its appearances in cinema and literature, the Model T played a key role in major events of the time, such as auto races and transcontinental expeditions. These activities not only demonstrated its reliability and durability, but also helped cement its place in the American popular imagination. The vehicle became an integral part of the daily lives of millions of Americans, influencing fashion, music, and even the slang of the time, with terms like Tin Lizzie and Flivver becoming synonyms for the Model T. The influence of the Model T also extended to the nascent automotive tourism industry. With an affordable and reliable car, American families could embark on road trips, exploring new parts of the country. This not only changed how Americans spent their leisure time, but also promoted the development of road infrastructure, motels, national parks, and tourist attractions that supported automobile tourism. Thus, the Model T was not just a product of its time, but also a catalyst that transformed American society in several dimensions. Number 5. Use of innovative materials. In 1925, the Ford Motor Company began exploring alternatives to traditional materials used in automobile manufacturing. One of the most notable innovations was the introduction of body parts made from a soy-based compound. Henry Ford, an advocate of agricultural resources and a visionary in terms of sustainable materials, led this effort. Ford's interest in renewable materials not only reflected his commitment to innovation, but also his desire to support American agriculture, a sector he considered vital to the national economy. Although the experimental soy-based plastic car never entered mass production, it did demonstrate the possibility of using organic materials in automobile manufacturing. This experiment was a precursor to many modern concepts of sustainability in vehicle manufacturing. Ford believed that cars should not only be efficient and accessible but also environmentally friendly in terms of the materials used in their construction. The initiative also highlighted Ford's vision of integrating the automotive industry with agriculture. He envisioned a future where farmers would not only grow food but also raw materials for vehicles and other industrial products. Although the focus on sustainable materials was limited at that time, it planted the seeds for future innovations in the automotive sector that would incorporate eco-friendly and sustainable materials, a trend that has gained considerable momentum in the 21st century. Number 4. Impact on infrastructure. The Ford Model T had a profound impact on the development of infrastructure in the United States, particularly in the expansion and improvement of the road network. Before the popularization of the automobile, many roads were little more than dirt paths designed primarily for horses and carts. However, the growing popularity of the Model T and its economic accessibility generated unprecedented demand for better paved roads, more robust bridges, and more integrated transportation infrastructure. This vehicle, being accessible to a wide range of the population, not only altered individual transport patterns but also influenced public policies and urban planning. Local and state governments began to invest more in the construction and maintenance of roads to accommodate the increasing number of cars. This included the creation of transcontinental roads that facilitated long-distance travel, redefining the economic and social geography of the nation. Additionally, the need for supporting infrastructure, such as service stations, repair garages, and spare parts shops, grew exponentially. This not only fostered local economic development through new businesses and services but also transformed the urban and rural landscape, with the emergence of suburbs and the expansion of metropolitan areas. The Model T, therefore, was not just a vehicle that transported people from one place to another. It was a catalyst that fundamentally transformed American society, pushing towards an infrastructure modernization that would accompany the pace of life in the 20th century. Number 3. Global production. The reach of the Ford Model T extended far beyond the borders of the United States, establishing its presence in international markets through assembly plants in countries such as Canada, England, Germany, Argentina, France, Spain, Brazil, Mexico, and more. This global strategy not only reflected Ford's expansive vision but also marked one of the first times that an automobile manufacturer established truly international production. By adapting its business model and production to different cultural and economic contexts, Ford not only sold cars but also exported its revolutionary mass production technique. The establishment of assembly plants in these diverse countries allowed Ford to reduce transportation costs and tariffs, making the Model T even more accessible in international markets. Additionally, Ford adapted its vehicles to meet local needs and specifications, sometimes involving modifications in the design to suit different road conditions or consumer preferences. This flexibility was crucial to its global success and helped cement the company's reputation as an entity capable of handling and understanding the diversity of the global market. The globalization of Model T production not only expanded Ford's geographical footprint but also had a significant impact on the local economies of the countries where the plants were established. It created jobs, contributed to industrial development, and promoted advanced manufacturing techniques in regions that had previously relied heavily on importing technology. Thus, Ford was not only a pioneer in the automotive industry, it also played a key role in the globalization of industrial production, establishing a model that many other industries would follow in subsequent decades. Number 2. Motorization of America. The Ford Model T was not only an innovative vehicle but also played a crucial role in the motorization of America. By the time its production ended in 1927, more than 15 million units had been manufactured, a testament to its popularity and accessibility. This mass production not only saturated the American market with affordable cars but also helped radically transform the lifestyle and economy of the nation. Widespread access to automobiles fostered greater personal mobility, changing the way people traveled, worked, and recreated. The influence of the Model T on the motorization of America can also be seen in the way it transformed the economic fabric of the country. By making personal transportation accessible to the working class, Ford not only expanded the automotive market but also stimulated the growth of related industries, such as oil, tires, and road construction. This vehicle fostered the development of a mobility-based economy, where the distance between home and work could be significantly extended, thus facilitating the expansion of suburbs and altering urban planning. Moreover, the production of the Model T helped establish the United States as a global leader in the automotive industry, a title it would retain for many decades. Ford's ability to produce millions of cars not only demonstrated the efficacy of mass production but also laid the groundwork for future industrial development. This approach to efficient manufacturing and standardization would become a model for other industries and help the United States achieve a new level of industrial and economic development. Number 1. Profound social change. The Ford Model T is renowned for its revolutionary impact on American society, democratizing motor transport in an unprecedented way. Before its introduction, automobiles were seen as luxuries reserved for the wealthy. With the production of the Model T, Ford radically changed this landscape, making the car accessible to the working class. This not only enabled unprecedented personal mobility but was also a key factor in the formation of the modern consumer society, where durable consumer goods became accessible to large segments of the population. This change had a profound effect on the social and economic structure of the United States. The accessibility of the Model T allowed middle and working class families to enjoy the benefits of personal transport, transforming their way of life. They could live further from their places of work, contributing to the expansion of suburbs and changing the dynamics of cities and rural communities. Moreover, the car facilitated greater access to education and leisure, integrating society more and fostering a sense of independence and personal freedom. The Model T also influenced the empowerment of groups that previously had less mobility, including women and rural populations, who found in the automobile a tool for social and economic emancipation. The ability to travel on one's own was a catalyst for social change, challenging traditional norms and promoting new ways of thinking about mobility, space, and personal autonomy. Through its mass production and philosophy of affordability, the Ford Model T was not just a vehicle. It was a transformative force that shaped the 20th century and paved the way for the modern world.